the injury crisis at Arsenal is not something that we are unfamiliar with. It's something that has been there for the longest time. It's not something that began 3 or 2 seasons ago, but it has affected the club a big deal, because majority of these injuries are big injuries. They occur when we are competing for something, and once they happen, the team seems to always crumble, you know. For example, when you look at that horrible injury on Eduardo, it's something that affected that team mentally and psychologically. They were psychologically drained. It was something that, it was a horror for the players, and so they declined. They did not know how to keep on fighting, because at that time Eduardo was a real menace. He was our star player, our star striker, one of the best we've ever signed. And that injury happened, and then there was another injury on Aaron Ramsey, which was also horrific. And these major injuries, they have a way of interfering with the psychology or the mentality and the psyche of the players, because they are major injuries. They are injuries, they are horrific. So when a player sees that happen to their fellow player or teammate, it kind of affects the way they behave, the way they play. There's that fear of having the same injury. So this has affected us in so many ways. We had major injuries to our rising stars like Jack Wilshere. If you remember, Jack Wilshere was a star. That was one of our star boys. But then injuries happened to him, and his career just declined when he was just starting off. We had injuries on players such as Santi Cazorla. Major loss. What a talent. But then they leave Arsenal sometimes, and they play well without even injury. So sometimes you even feel that it's a curse when it comes to Arsenal. I remember Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I remember Theo Walcott. Injuries derailed his progress, and that also affected Arsenal's progress during that time. I remember the little Mozart, Thomas Rosicky. What a talent. But injuries happened. So we had midfielders who were picking up pace. They were not good enough, but then when they were picking up pace and coming good for Arsenal, then injuries happened. For example, Coquelin, if you can remember Coquelin, Gibbs. Those are players that injury affected, and as a result of that, Arsenal lost track. Arsenal lost momentum. Arsenal lost the fight during title races. If it's not injuries, then it is our most informed player just suddenly dips in form. For example, when we were fighting for the title in 2000 and was it 15 or when we were fighting for the title against Leicester City, and you remember what happened to Olivier Giroud. That guy went 12 games without scoring. It's not that he was not getting chances, no, he was getting chances. Those are things that have happened over the years for Arsenal, and during these times when we see our players get injured, those the PTSD, the reflections come to you, and you kind of feel like is it really going to happen again for us? Is this going to happen again? Are we going to have a repeat of what happened to us? So that kind of shiver comes in, and you start feeling dejected. You start losing focus, while other teams have found a way to deal with them, or those teams that won did not have those major injuries, or they had those major injuries but then their players returned at the right time.